Bhagavatam Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Kandar Bhagom Vikamaniya Vishesha Shobha
Okay, now we are going to unveil the plaque registering the inauguration for today. Before we do that, we have the auspicious mantras from all the way from Mayapur. Please.
Hare Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryan Karavavai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma Vidvishavai Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ugram Viram Mahavishnom Jalantam Sarvatomukham Nrisimham Vishahantam Mrityurnamamyaham Shri Nrisimha Jai Nrisimha Jai 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 Shri Nrisimha Shalhadesha Jaya Padma Mukha Padma Vringa.
Krishna Balaram Ki
Dear Maharajas, His Honor Dr. Punashego Fidikelwe, the Vice President of Botswana, dear devotees and honored guests, it is with deep gratitude that we welcome you from the bottom of our hearts. There is an age-old question which has riddled many generations: does God exist? As you can see this question does not arise in this holy place.
As the current chairperson of the international governing body of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, I would like to express my gratitude and my great happiness to welcome His Honor, the Vice President of Botswana, Dr. Fidikelwe. Thank you so much, sir, for coming and gracing this wonderful occasion with your presence. We appreciate it very much. I would also like to extend a very warm welcome to a former president of Botswana, Sir Kutubele Masile. Thank you very much for coming. We appreciate your presence very, very much. So this temple, beautiful temple, 5.5 years in construction, is today being offered to the Supreme Lord, who in our tradition of Krishna consciousness we know as Lord Krishna, which means the all-attractive person, he who has all attractive qualities in full. This is God. Our society here in Botswana has been registered for many years, but today, with the opening of this grand temple, beautiful temple, our International Society for Krishna Consciousness has really officially arrived in Botswana. This Society for Krishna Consciousness is truly an international entity. We have temples, centers, and representation in practically every country in the world. In my capacity as the chairperson, I travel around the whole world, and I see practically on a day-to-day basis how this transcendental spiritual culture, which of course historically has its roots in India, and in that regard I must also thank the Indian High Commission for sending representation here. Thank you very much for that. So this International Society for Christian Consciousness is all over the world, although of course historically the roots are there in India. However, as you may have noticed, myself as the chairperson of the whole society, I am not Indian. And indeed, as I move around all over the world, we see everywhere that in all the different countries, practically every country in the world, other than a few which are unfortunately politically very unstable and dangerous, but otherwise, Krishna consciousness movement is all over. And all different types of people are taking to Krishna consciousness and applying the principles in their lives and benefiting greatly in achieving the development of their personal relationships with the Supreme Lord, plus the development of themselves as persons, as a pure spiritual process. Krishna consciousness is something which is available to everyone.
I feel greatly honored and privileged to join this august gathering this afternoon at the official opening of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness Botswana Temple. A magnificent building, I would like to believe by any standards. I wish to start off by extending a warm welcome to guests from outside Botswana who have made it to this occasion, and I wish to invite you to take this opportunity while in Botswana to sample our renowned tourist attractions. To give you an occasion for meditation, because I would like to believe that this gathering, the focus and the peace of gathering this afternoon, and indeed for the whole concept behind what has brought us here together this afternoon, is prayer and meditation. Your presence here this afternoon is a clear demonstration of your commitment to spread the word and send out as messengers of hope, salvation, and faith and truth. Friends, it is heartening to note that religious organizations in Botswana have historically had a successful partnership between government and communities in development of different sectors such as education. In this regard, we believe that the opening of this temple will build on and nurture the existing relationship for the good of the citizenry and, of course, the country. I note with appreciation, Master of Ceremonies, some of the maxims of ISKCON. 1, purity in the force. 2, books are the basis. 3, utility is the principle. And 4, love of God is the highest. I hope, and I do hope, that these visionary teachings should mold and shape people to be a society of upright and responsible citizens. To this end, I am delighted that ISKCON Botswana's philanthropic passion reaches out on a regular basis for those who are underprivileged and the needy. The movement's initiative to distribute food as a practical help to the needy is done with love and care. This answers our Vision 2016 pillar of being a compassionate and caring nation. Indeed, this commitment builds towards a tolerant and upright nation. This demonstrates the true partnership in development with the government and, of course, its people and the nation at large. Botswana, like many developing economies, is grappling with numerous challenges such as poverty and unemployment, which affect a significant proportion of the population. To this end, government attaches importance to the role religious organizations like yours are playing both material and spiritual support to many vulnerable groups within our communities. I therefore urge members of your congregation to actively participate and pursue initiatives to assist our people as already indicated. I am sure the prayers in this temple, this magnificent building, will add their widow's might to building our society, molding our society, and guiding the youth. I wish to conclude by reiterating that the various religious institutions in Botswana have come a long way, and they are free to worship with observance of our constitutional provisions and bringing the much-needed support to the nation, the much-needed stability, the much-needed peace, the much understanding between the various groups. It is now, again, Director of Proceedings, it is now my singular honor, present privilege to declare ISKCON Botswana Temple officially open.
I'd like to thank the Vice President for accepting us and enjoying the hospitality. Every man on this planet, every living entity, likes to enjoy something to eat. And our cooks have worked very hard, and downstairs they're waiting for you all. But there's a little delay in the Vice President coming down first. All the guests will go first, but we're going to do it systematically. So once again, because there is religious tolerance, I would like everybody to raise your hands and whatever I say, repeat after me. That includes the cocktail. Can you raise hands like this and say after me, Hare Krishna! Hare Krishna! Hare Krishna! Hare Krishna! Krishna Krishna! Hare Hare! Hare Rama! Hare Rama! Rama Rama! Hare Hare! Everybody say loudly, Hari Bo!
and friends of ISKCON, I would just like to say to His Honour that in coming to Africa, I'm from London. I'm responsible, or partly responsible, for a very large Hare Krishna community in London. One which, as His Honour had mentioned, I was quite surprised when he mentioned the Beatles. So I was just asking if he had a chance to listen to any of their music, which I'm not going to tell you the answer to. But the temple, which I belong to in the UK, in London, is a big 70-acre estate with a mansion on it, which was donated to the Hare Krishna movement from George Harrison, who, as you know, you may remember which position he had in the band. Does anybody know that? He played the, perhaps you know.
He was the silent Beatle.
He was the silent Beatle, he played the guitar. And he donated a beautiful temple to us in London. So coming to Africa, Botswana, I was really excited because I've never been over to this side of the world before. But I was also very nervous because of how little I knew about this side of the world. As you know, we're most unfortunately only informed about the world by the BBC. So we never really perhaps get to hear the actual story, but rather the BBC's version of it. So I was really excited. When I got to Johannesburg, I asked the lady there at the counter, I said, could you tell me the proper pronunciation for this country, of this town, the city in Botswana, because at least I should know that. And the lady there, she said, well, we call it Gaborone and they call it Habaroni. And a friend instructed me that you have to say it with the movement of the hand as well. Habaroni. I don't know if that's quite correct. But anyway, I was getting even more nervous from that. So when I got to the immigration here in Botswana, I came to a very stern-faced lady who wanted to know the address of where I was going, and I couldn't remember it. And she was saying, this is the most important thing, sir, that you should know the address of where you're going. And I said to her, well, it's the Krishna temple. And really, I'm terribly, terribly sorry. And then she said, at least you could have taken some time to read something about my country before you came here. So I appreciated very much her pride. But then I wanted to say also how much I appreciate the warmth of your country. And I mean that in both ways. So coming from Britain, it's very warm here. But finally, when I got to where I was staying, Your Honour, I said to somebody, can you please tell me the proper pronunciation of this city? And they said, we just call it Gabs. And so I felt both the pride and the warmth of your country, and I'm more than happy and very privileged to be here. I would like to just say now that please, yes, sit back, enjoy the meal, get to know one another, and I would like to request the head of services here that now the starters will be served.